Hello once again, everybody. Steve Pelican giving you a rundown of what happened last week in Louisiana Raging Cajun softball. And of course, big weekend last weekend for the Cajuns. The fifth-ranked Cajuns went to Tuscaloosa, Alabama, and took on the fourth-ranked Alabama Crimson Tide in a big three-game weekend non-conference series. And really, it was everything that it was expected to be. We told you last week that the series was not a be-all, end-all. Plenty of softball left in 2015. It wasn't like whoever won the series was going to be the national champions. It wasn't like whoever lost the series had no chance to be in the College World Series. It was a fun, really good softball series between two of the top teams in the country. And again, it was everything that a lot of people had hoped it would be. Alabama won game one 5-1. They hit two home runs. They really came up with the critical hits at the critical times. Sidney Littlejohn outstanding in the circle for Alabama, just a little bit better than the Cajuns. Cajuns came back to win game two, 2-1. Tremendous performance by Jordan Wallace, who picked up the win for the Cajuns in the circle, and also Samantha Walsh, of course, drove home the game-winning run, scoring Haley Hayden to give the Cajuns the 2-1 victory. Walsh hit also a home run to tie the game earlier at one apiece, and then delivered the go-ahead single to score Hayden and give the Cajuns a 2-1 victory. And then in the rubber game, a lot of fireworks. Alabama winds up winning 3-2, but that doesn't tell the whole story. Again, Alabama jumps out to the lead. Cajuns able to tie it, and then the bottom half of the sixth inning, Alabama gets the leadoff runner on. They try to bunt that runner over to second base, and in the process, Jordan Wallace picks up the softball, throws to first, and hits the runner. Or at least it looked like it hit the runner. And of course, she's running inside the baseline. We thought at first that they said that she was not running inside the baseline. It turns out that they said the ball never hit her in the first place. I thought it was a blown call. Still, though, the Cajuns tie the game in the top half of the seventh inning. 2 outs, a dramatic home run by Shelley Landry to tie the game, and then Alabama wins it. In the bottom half of the seventh inning, a double to lead off the inning. They bunt her over to third base, and then Haley McCleany, Alabama's All-American candidate, hits a sacrifice fly to score the game-winning run. Alabama wins it by the final score of 3-2. But tooth and nail the entire series. If Alabama is the number 4 team in the country, then the Cajuns are a top 5 team. And same thing with Alabama. If the Cajuns are the 5th-ranked team in the country, then Alabama is certainly a top 5 team. It was a great series between two outstanding softball teams over the weekend. Cajuns, are there some things they could do better? Sure. They struck out 28 times over the weekend. They need to do a better job of that. They just need to do a better job of putting the bat on the ball in some situations. But, it's a good softball team. They're well coached, and they're certainly one of the top teams in the country. Now you got to forget about that Alabama series, because you got South Alabama this weekend in the opening conference series. That's in Mobile, Alabama. We'll talk a little bit about that as the week progresses, but a big series. The two programs don't particularly like one another. They respect one another, but they don't particularly like one another. And chances are at the end of the year, one of these teams will be Sun Belt Conference regular season champions, the Cajuns and South Alabama, and it's likely that both of them will be in NCAA regionals at the end of the year. But a great softball series over the weekend. Tremendous pitching performance by Sidney Littlejohn of Alabama. She won 2 of the games, and also great pitching performance by Jordan Wallace for Louisiana's Raging Cajuns. Of course, Samantha Walsh hit the ball very well, as did Haley Hayden. Cajuns just came up a little bit short in that final game, but a great softball series, and those two teams showed one another in the entire country that they are 2 of the best softball teams in the country. Again, Cajuns dropped 2 out of 3 over the weekend to the Alabama Crimson Tide in a tremendous softball series. That's your recap of Raging Cajun softball for last week for ESPN1420.com. I'm Steve Pelican.